Hello everyone and welcome to Outside Interference and to episode number 10 of the Academy series. So 10 is a pretty big number and thankfully the Academy delivered because TEW decided to bless us with a multitude of contracts, quite a few actually, including an NXT signing, as you've probably guessed from the thumbnail and title. But we'll get into that later. As of right now, let's go ahead and check out the awards. Wrestler of the Year went to Eric Anthony, also known as Real One. Company of the Year went to CMLL. Team of the Year went to Eric Anthony and Bill Morrissey, also known as Cass and Amore. Match of the Year went to WWE Clash of Champions, where Big E and Woods defeated Cass and Amore. Show of the Year also went to Clash of Champions. Veteran Wrestler of the Year went to Matt Sydal. Female went to Nikki Storm. Most Improved Company was PWI. Independent Wrestler went to Chris Renfrew. Manager went to Maurice. Announcer went to Tanzan Inihara, and color commentator went to Andres Morones. And last but not least, referee went to Mike Chioda. So without further ado, let's get into the male. And obviously we do have quite a lot. Two-Face extended his deal with Smash. Frank Youngblood signed into developmental with NXT, also, WWE of course. Sam Barron relocated to the Mid-Atlantic. Frank Youngblood relocated to the Midwest to be closer to NXT, of course. And obviously this is a pretty big move. Frank Youngblood has had some success on the European independents, but nothing that would suggest to me that WWE would be extremely interested in him. If anything, I would expect Junior Scorpio to get that deal. But don't worry, that is not the only signing that we get this year. Sam Barron is now rated as average. I think he used to be flabby, so that is definitely an upgrade. Two-Face extended his deal with C4, and then Jacob Wolf signed with CWI. Don't exactly know what CWI is, but they are in Australia, and actually their CEO is Soraya Knight, also known as Paige's mom. I guess she made the move to Australia for some reason. And are they the developmental company for someone? Because it says they're CEO rather than owner. Business? We'll have to take a look at that later, because I honestly do not know. But Jacob Wolf did sign with them, not a developmental deal. So if they are developmental territory, then he has to work for that deal a little bit more. Junior Scorpio quit MMPW and shortly after left EWA. But fortunately, WXW hopped on that very quickly. And actually, surprisingly, WXW are like the second or third biggest company in the world. Oh, I was wrong. They are the seventh. But they are quite big. They're cult, so they're pretty much tied for second. But WXW is certainly the biggest in Europe. I guess the UK is also in Europe. But post-Brexit, they are the biggest in the European Union countries. So, that's definitely a big deal. It's great to see, I think it was a written deal also. So it's great to see Junior Scorpio getting signed to a long-term, full-time deal. And obviously everybody else that got signed. Hopefully we can keep this train rolling for next episode, but for now, let's go ahead and look at everyone's matches. Alex Runnels, we'll see how he did. He had 5 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss, so that's pretty good. He actually faced Trent Seven and only got a 15, so either Trent is very underrated in this mod, or Alex Runnels' stats aren't nearly as good as I expected them to be. But we'll go ahead and move on. Good year from Alex Reynolds. Hopefully he can get that ICW contract. Next up, Brogan Bennett. Still no contract, unfortunately, but she did get 1 draw and 3 losses. Highest rating being a 24, average rating being a 20. And no really notable matches. She had 2 matches with Sami Zayn, but other than that, it wasn't anything too crazy. Hopefully she can get signed soon, and now that the wrestling world actually wants to look at the Academy graduates in terms of signing, she might have a shot. Moving on to Dragon Fist, currently a lower mid-carder in PWG, so he's moving up a little bit. He had 4 wins, 0 draws, and 4 losses, and it looks like he's on a bit of a win streak. 3 wins in a row for PWG in 3 straight events, so he is no longer skipping events. He has been in every event since June. So obviously that's a pretty big deal. Looks like he has some kind of rivalry with Jojo Bravo. I've actually met the guy. Quite nice, very small. So Hopefully Dragon Fist will be able to come out on top of that. Highest rating 39, average rating 33. Very good year for Dragon Fist, and obviously the best year he's had so far. Next up, Frank Youngblood, currently only an opener in NXT, but we'll see if that affected his matches too much. 2 wins, 0 draws, 7 losses, and it looks like he didn't win any in the independents, so he's actually 2-0-5 in NXT. He's only appeared on NXT TV twice and once was on the pre-show, but he is a mainstay at the takeover, so hopefully he can continue moving up, and with ratings like that, I think he will be able to. Highest rating 44, average rating 38, with a lowest rating of 30. Frank Youngblood has had a very good year, but we're going to go ahead and move on to French Sensation. Unfortunately, he has not been re-signed, and he did not get any matches. Not much to say about that. Hopefully someone else picks him up, although I'm not too confident. But maybe we get another Levy Payne situation. I say that almost every episode, but at the same time, I think it's starting to form a little bit. Everything is starting to come together. And Jacob Wolf, CWI Tag Champion. So that is pretty great with Brad Smith. Weird way to spell Smith, but, you know, whatever gets you there. 2 wins, 0 draws, 3 losses, and he actually challenged for the top contender title. And you know what, we're going to go ahead and see what the deal is with CWI, because I honestly have no idea. I feel like it would tell me somewhere if it was a developmental, so maybe it's owned by a broadcaster or something. I don't really care enough to look too hard, but it is good, obviously, that Jacob Wolf has a title now. Moving on to Junior Scorpio, currently a main eventer in WXW. He was ranked number 433 in the Power 500. I don't think we paid too much attention to his rankings, but he has been ranked each of the last 3 years. His highest rating was 397, and I do expect that to keep going up, as 10 wins, 0 draws, 8 losses, although he has not gotten a title shot in WXW, but I guess he has only had 2 matches. So highest rating 58, average rating 52, and his lowest rating in WXW so far was a 53, so he is putting on fantastic matches, at least when compared to the rest of the Academy graduates, and honestly, I think that Junior Scorpio has the highest ceiling at this point, but with all these new signings, I have no idea, especially Frank Youngblood. Looks like the Europeans have really taken over this series. I expect him to obviously do better in the future, considering that he is going to be training in NXT. So with that, we'll go ahead and move on to Sam Barron. Not expecting too much, obviously, because he's not signed, but 1 win in his only match against JC Bravo. And, you know, there's not much to say about this. It was only an 8 rating, so it's not really the best, but as long as he's getting a match, I'm sure he won't be too mad. Next up, Tiger Dream. I don't think she had any matches last year, and the trend continues this year, so it seems like Tiger Dream has kind of fallen off a little bit. But moving on to Two-Face, mid-carder in both Smash and C4. Currently 3 wins, 0 draws, 9 losses, and he did challenge for the C4 tag and the Smash tag titles. Highest rating 48, average rating 35. Good year for Two-Face. You know, he is just continuing to improve every single year, and in Smash and C4 he is continuing to move up the card. So hopefully by, I guess, his 35th birthday, he'll have the Smash and or C4 World Championship, or maybe even moved on to bigger and better things. But we move on to Walter Wall, our last graduate of pretty much every episode. 1 win, 0 draws, 4 losses, and obviously not a great record, but with 26 highest rating, 23 average rating, I do think he is going to get signed very soon, and if he isn't, I'll be surprised, especially considering that people who are arguably less skilled than him and have, you know, not as good attributes are being signed more often. So if we don't see Walter Wall get signed within the next few episodes, then something is wrong with this mod. But I don't want to dwell on that too long. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode and the updates and all of the new signings, because there were quite a few, you know, even with just renewals. But if you did enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.